Hey everybody, Pray for Wolves here today. I just wanted to talk about today's topic, vlogging. Now, what has vlogging meant to me over the years? I would say vlogging has meant quite a lot. I've been following vlogs and vloggers really since the beginning. The beginning being around 2005, 2006, 2007. In my personal opinion, and I know there's a lot of different opinions on this topic, but in my humble opinion, I believe the golden age of YouTube to be from 2006 to around 2013, 2014-ish. And it really was a different space at that time. And I think that around 2006, 2007, my favorite vlogger at that time was called Booger Boy Meister. And Booger Boy Meister, he used to do vlogs all the time. I don't think he does videos anymore anywhere. I think he might be fully retired. He might do some live streams on Facebook now and then. But his name's Jared, really great guy. I have actually chatted with him a couple times over the years, but from my perspective, he's just one of the OG YouTube vloggers, and he made such a big impact on me. I remember I used to watch videos of him playing old Xbox 360 games like Condemned, and just I remember he would have these big rage videos because back in the day the 360 would have the red ring of death all the time, and so he had all these different videos of him raging over the fact that he had to send his Xbox 360 in 2 times, 3 times, 4 times to Microsoft, and no matter how many times he sent it in, it would always give him the red ring of death. But I remember that, like, those early days of YouTube were really something special. They were really something that you had to be there for, and I was there for them. Not a lot of people remember this, but in the early days of YouTube, it was actually more akin to, say, MySpace or Facebook. And the YouTube pages used to be very similar to MySpace pages in the way that you could completely customize them. You could have any background that you wanted. You could completely take all the different widgets. You could take the videos and put them down here. You could take all the channel comments and put them up here. You could take the subscribers and put them anywhere you wanted. You could fully customize your YouTube channel and really make it any way you wanted. And so back in the day, I remember my old channel, I'm pretty sure it's completely deleted now. My old channel was called Pinball Central. And I remember I had that shit pimped out. I had that pimp daddy, baby. Everything was super cool, customized, just the way I wanted it. And on the old days of YouTube, you actually had a friends list. You actually had a friends list, and you actually had a comment wall that you could post comments and leave comments on other people's walls. And you had a direct message box too, a personal message box as well. YouTube was a lot more about the social aspect about it. I mean, YouTube used to be a social media platform and actually wanted you to engage with other people of similar interests. I remember at that time, I was interacting with a lot of people that were into retro video games, horror movies, any kind of gore or splatter movies, exploitation movies, whatever you want to call them. I remember in those days that it was a lot more about connectivity. So with that kind of background given, how does that tie into vlogging? Well, at the time, around 2006, 2007, vlogging was really a new concept. I mean, it was really something that was kind of not yet defined. I don't even know when the term vlogging or vloggers became a thing. I just remember that it felt unique and it also felt really cool. It felt really special. Another one of my favorite vloggers of all time, and unfortunately she is also retired, but shout out Booger Boy Meister, by the way. Jared, if you ever see this, I hope you're doing great, man. And also, I would say around 2010 to 2013, I was a very heavy watcher and huge fan. I still am a huge fan, but her name is Courtney Pants. And Courtney, I was always a huge fan of her. And she kind of filled The thing about vlogs and vloggers is that they kind of fill this space. They kind of let you into their life. They show you their perspective on things. They tell you their perspective on things. And it really feels like a parasocial relationship, but in like the healthiest way possible. When I was growing up, I grew up out in the middle of nowhere. I like to tell people when they meet me that the only thing you need to know about me is that I grew up on a dirt road in the middle of the woods on a farm. And that tells you everything that you need to know about me. So in terms of my interactions with people, it was very limited. I didn't interact with a lot of different people or a lot of unique people. My graduating class in high school had less than 50 people graduate, which means that I guess you could say I didn't really have the best social interaction skills for quite a while. And I really don't feel like I do these days, but I definitely think I'm better. I do want to say that over the years, a lot of different vloggers and a lot of different YouTubers and internet personalities, they really have meant a lot to me, because I really do feel like the people I just mentioned and others, I mean, oh my God, 2015, 2016, Blair White and Theron Meyer, and especially Theron. I loved Theron's content. I'm pretty sure Theron got banned. I'm pretty sure she got completely banned and like all of her videos were wiped off the internet. And I've looked, there's nothing archived, like all of her stuff is just gone. But Theron's content and Theron's videos, I loved her content so much, and it was really needed. It was really needed. I needed that positive influence and that real influence too. I mean, in a lot of her videos, she talked about being problematic and messy, but it's like we all are. And it was really refreshing, because you see all these people online, all these social media people pretending like they have the greatest lives of all time. And of course, when you scroll on Instagram, people are only posting the best moments, the highlights of their life. They don't want you to see the low points, and you never do. It's very easy to get caught up in this false idea that all these famous people, all these celebrities, all these social media people, it's very easy to get caught up in the idea that they're living these perfect lives. They aren't. They're not living perfect lives. And so anybody who has an online presence and just is very upfront and forward about the fact that they are messy, they are not perfect people, I really appreciate the genuine nature of that. I really see that as just, man, being a real ass bitch, being a real ass motherfucker. I don't know, like, I hate people that are fake, and I hate when people try to like go online and just present this image of somebody that you can tell that they're not that person. And that is why so many vloggers like Booger Boy Meister, Courtney Pants, Blair White. Blair is like the only person still making shit to this day. Theron's retired, Booger's retired, Courtney's retired. Courtney, she was always crackhead energy, and that's why I liked Courtney's videos so much, is that she was just always on that crackhead energy, always on that upper time, and that's me. That's generally me. But I guess as an adult, what I've learned is you want to preserve as much of your energy as you possibly can, because a lot of people out there, unfortunately, are just vampires. A lot of people are vampires. A lot of people try to siphon and suck your energy from you in a multitude of different toxic ways. And once you kind of learn to identify that, it helps you deal with it a lot more. But vlogging is just fucking awesome. I love vlogging. I love vloggers. It's always been a thing that I've been like attracted to and kind of gravitated towards. And I've only recently just started doing vlogging myself and trying it out and making these YouTube videos. But I find that it's very therapeutic in a way as well. And I guess the whole point of it is to just see if there are other people out there that can connect with what you're saying. Are there other people out there that share similar feelings to me, share similar vibes, have similar experiences in life? And that's what it's all about. When I would go through the comment section in the old days of YouTube, for example, on Booger's videos, he'd upload videos of 360 video games, and then in the comments, everybody would be interacting, talking about the game, talking about different games that they were playing at the time. It helped you to find community. I recall I was speaking with a chaplain one time. And he told me about trying to find community. And at the time, I had absolutely no idea what he was talking about. Community. I was like, what is this, the 1950s? But I think I understand now that me being a part of the internet smartphone generation, that's where we find our community. We find it in these online pockets of people that are interested in the same things that we're interested in. They gravitate towards the same things that we gravitate towards. And it's just kind of interesting to see how people of different ideologies and different walks of life all come together for certain different topics, certain different things. I really think that's interesting, and I think it's also important to try and connect with people that may not have all of the same viewpoints as you, but maybe they have the same energy that you do. Maybe they share some of that same crackhead energy that you have, and maybe that's something you can relate to them on. I don't know I think it's called neurodivergent. I think that's what it's called. That could mean anything, man. And plus, there's so many different terminologies for what it could mean. But I guess growing up, I never really felt like I fit into a certain category of person. And anytime I would try to relate to a different group of people, it never worked out. Anytime I would try to say, oh, I'm a part of this group, then I would have viewpoints that oppose them, and then they don't want me anymore. And I mean, rinse and repeat. You try to associate or claim any group as your own, it never works out, because the group is always going to try to mold you to what they want you to be, not what you want you to be. So I do think it's important to be an individual, but at the same time, I do think that it is something truly special and truly memorable when you're able to connect with people in that way. And I feel like that's what really the soul of vlogs are all about, is being able to just be real with each other. We're not making these Mr. Beast level production videos here. We're not doing all this crazy editing and all that. We're just talking. We're just being real. My whole life, I've always kind of had this feeling. And also, shout out to SBSK, Special Books for Special Kids. One of my favorite YouTube channels of all time. I think his name is Chris, and him and his wife actually travel all around the country, and they do interviews with special needs and special education people. And they just kind of get a different perspective from these people who walk much harder walks of life than a lot of us out there watching YouTube videos are even able to comprehend. And I really think he's one of the greatest YouTubers I've ever watched, and he is still making videos, so shout out to Chris from SBSK and his wife as well. I know they put everything they have into that YouTube channel, and I don't know if I could ever have the patience or that specific skill to do that, but I always felt like I had almost like a calling or just a want and a desire to help people. And I thought to myself, how could I help people? What ways could I help people? Honestly, the ways that I've been helped the most is just talking. Is just finding friends, associates, coworkers that I thought were nice, I thought were cool, and then we were just able to sit down and talk about life. And after doing that, I always felt a lot better. And I feel like that's important in life. And I feel like that's what I'm doing here, is if anybody out there feels like they have no one to talk to, if anybody out there feels all alone and like they're an outsider, like they don't belong wherever they are, that's how I felt my entire life. So if I could offer just a little bit of maybe inspiration, hope, or even just something to take your mind off the rest of the world for a minute, I think I've done everything I can do. So yeah, that's kind of my thoughts on vlogging. I love vlogs. I love YouTube, even though YouTube is not even close to what it used to be. I will say, once you get YouTube Premium, you can never go back. They get their hooks in you. But But yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about that for today. I just wanted to connect with you guys and kind of get that off my chest. So I hope you guys have a great New Year's, and I'll see you coming up in 2025 here. Have a great one. Bye.